Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the, what day is it? April 13th, 2026 City Council meeting. I'd like to especially welcome our young Seahawks cheerleaders. Can you all stand up? Before we recognize these amazing young ladies, can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You ladies did a magnificent job with that. So tonight, first thing, Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll first?
Councilwoman Melly Garthwaite is absent. Councilman Peter Rivera.
Councilman Peter Rivera at large, present.
Councilman Sean Ronan.
Here.
Councilwoman Ann Heffernan.
Here.
Councilwoman Nancy Tagliatella.
Councilwoman Nancy Tagliatella, 2nd District, here.
Councilwoman Sarah Akbarali.
Councilwoman Sarah Akbarali, 3rd District, here.
Councilman Gary Donovan.
Councilman Gary Donovan, 4th District, present.
Councilman Edward McMillan.
Councilman Edward McMillan, 5th District, present.
Councilwoman Dawn Callahan.
Dawn Callahan, 6th District, present.
Councilwoman Catherine Tucker.
Councilwoman Catherine Tucker, 7th District, present.
Councilman David Beaton.
Councilman David Beaton, 9th District, present.
Councilman Ronald Quagliani.
Ron Quagliani, 10th District, present.
And Chairman Christopher Vargo.
Chairman Christopher Vargo, 8th District, present.
We have a quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So, before we get on to our very boring work, we have the high privilege of honoring the Tiny Mite and the Mighty Mite cheerleaders for the Pop Warner Seahawks. The Tiny Mites are headed by Coach Stephanie Cirillo. They were undefeated this season. They are the Southern Connecticut Conference champions, the Tri-State Conference champions, the New England Regional champions, and the national champions with the highest score of the entire age division. And I understand that pretty much the entire Mighty Mite team is sick with the stomach bug, except for one brave young lady that's here. The Mighty Mites are headed by Coach Whitney Finnegan. Mighty Mites are headed by Coach Whitney Finnegan. They are the Southern Connecticut Conference champions, the Tri-State Conference champions, the Queen City National champions with the highest overall score of the whole week for every age bracket, and they are the national champions. Coach Kebby, would you like to come up and say a few words?
Good evening, Mayor Boer, Chairman Vargo, and council members. Thank you for inviting us here to celebrate something truly special, the championships of these young athletes, as well as the history and heart of the Ray Tellier Midget Football and Cheerleading League. For 60 years, this league has been more than just football and cheerleading. It has been a cornerstone of our community, a place where young athletes learn teamwork, discipline, and resilience. As part of the Southern Connecticut Pop Warner Conference, the program has built a tradition of excellence, but its true success is measured not just in championships, but the character of the young men and women it helps shape. What makes this league extraordinary is its foundation, the volunteers. I wanted to take a moment and honor them as well. These coaches, board members, and team staff give countless hours, not for recognition, but for these kids. This program simply would not exist without their dedication. Year after year, our volunteers step up to mentor, guide, and inspire, continuing a legacy of service that defines what West Haven is all about. And that commitment shows in the successes of our teams. In 2025, our West Haven Seahawk Tiny Mite team demonstrated incredible growth, determination, and teamwork throughout their season, representing the future of this program with pride. Comprised of nearly all brand new cheerleaders, these girls went on to have an undefeated season, being named the Southern Connecticut, Tri-State, and New England champions. They then went on to win the Pop Warner National Championship with the highest score of 14 teams in their division at 95.8. The 2025 West Haven Seahawks Mighty Might team also delivered an outstanding season, building on that same foundation of hard work and perseverance, showing what can be achieved when preparation meets opportunity. These athletes were the Southern Connecticut and Tri-State champions, however, did not qualify to compete at nationals. They decided they were not done and headed to Charlotte, North Carolina to participate in the Queen City Open competition for a chance at getting a national slot. And let me tell you, these ladies understood the assignment. After a flawless performance, earning them the highest score of the entire week for the Open competition for ages 5 to 15 at 95.2, these coaches and cheerleaders literally ran the length of the convention hall, warmed up, and competed again, all in the space of 15 minutes. This earned them the top spot and crowned them national champions in the ultimate Cinderella story. But these teams didn't just win competitions. They strengthened friendships, built confidence, and carried forward the proud tradition of the West Haven Seahawks. So tonight, I thank you for honoring not only the victories on the mat, but the volunteers who make them possible and the young athletes who remind us why this league matters. Because the West Haven Seahawks aren't just building players, we're building a community. I also invite you all to join us at Randall's Restaurant on June 7th to celebrate the 60th year of the Ray Tellier Midget Football and Cheerleading League, as we reminisce and honor its longstanding volunteer contribution to this community. Thank you very much.
Ladies, West Haven is beaming with pride over your accomplishments. We are so proud of you, and we wish you best of luck to you and your coaches and everything that you all are going to do in the future. At this time, the mayor has a very special statement that she's going to read to you, but I would like to invite the girls and their coaches up here for us.
But before I speak, are we going to get a chair? Are we going to get one of the chairs? Yeah? Do you know one? What do you know? Do you know one we are with? You want to face that way or you want to face the mayor? Turn around. The mayor? Turn around. Look over here. All right, ready? Watch Coach step. Ready? We're doing one we are West Haven. Okay? 5, 6, 7, 8.
1. We are West Haven. 2. A little bit louder. 3. I still can't hear you. 4. More. 1. We are West Haven. 2. A little bit louder. 3. I still can't hear you. 4. More. 1.
Okay, so first of all, I want to tell you how proud I am of each and every one of you. Did you have a really good time doing this? You are you proud of yourselves? Yeah, and I want to thank all the parents and the coaches because I know it's a lot of time and a lot of work, but very much worth it. And, you know, if the country didn't know who West Haven was before, they certainly do now because you put us on the map. So thank you. Okay, so this is what's called an official proclamation from the city. Okay, so this is very special for all of you. So we have Mighty Mite and Tiny Mite. Who's a Tiny Mite? Who's a Mighty Mite?
These are tiny mites.
Okay, I'm gonna read the proclamation together then, instead of separate ones, is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is on behalf, this is from the mayor, and this is from all the residents in the city of West Haven. You know how many there are? 55,000. 55,000 residents are excited for you. So when I read this, I get to read it on behalf of all of them. So, this is a proclamation on behalf of the mayor. The city of West Haven is a community that celebrates the spirit, discipline, and remarkable achievements of its youth athletes. And whereas the West Haven Seahawks Mighty Mite and Tiny Mite cheerleaders, under the exceptional leadership of head coach Whitney Finnegan, demonstrated unparalleled skill and dedication throughout their championship season. Through rigorous training and a commitment to excellence, this talented cheerleading team rose to the top of its field, capturing the Southern Connecticut Conference Championship and the Tri-State Conference Championship. And whereas the Seahawks Mighty Mites traveled to the Queen City National Championship, where they not only secured the title of national champions, but performed with such precision and energy that they posted the highest overall score of the entire week across every age bracket. And whereas this historic achievement reflects the hard work of the athletes, and I want to mention the other coach because I combined these, and Stephanie Cirillo, because I'm combining these. And whereas this historic achievement reflects the hard work of the athletes, the vision of your coaches, and the unwavering support of your families and the entire West Haven community. Now, therefore, I, Dorinda DeBoer, Mayor of the City of West Haven, Connecticut, hereby proclaim April 13, 2026 as West Haven Seahawk Cheerleading Day. And I think, want to take a group picture?
Yes, and that might necessitate ice cream. It's your day, so you may need to stop right here on the way home. Just saying.
Well, we're recessing, Council, coming with you.
The Seahawks also brought a little something for you. This is the New England Regional Football Championship ring.
Oh, my
Our,
God.
our football players were unable to come on their day because they had the stomach bug during that time. This is our West Haven Seahawks Championship cheer ring, and we hope to see you around town wearing your
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And we also have one more thing. This is for Chairman Vargo. That's our football ring. Thank you. You're welcome. I think they want to face that way, so come up this way. Yep. While we're lining up, is there anybody here that was a Ray Tellier Music football participant besides me and Councilman Ronan? Anybody? Oh, over there. We also had Coach.
I'll tell you when, okay?
Blood, our medic Gary Donovan. So thank you to you guys.
Before we take the
Former player and
picture,
referee.
Alessandra would like to say something.
Thank you for my coaches for helping me in cheer.
All right. Sarah.
So let's see. I'm going to take a little spot there. I don't want to block.
So players, coaches, and parents, thank you for taking the time out of your spring break to come and see us. Congratulations to the girls. And at this time, we will give the Seahawks a few seconds to go home and probably do something a lot more fun. Thank you, everybody. Sarah, Nancy, we're ready? Ready to go? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we will get into our regular business. Before we enter public session, I'm going to ask everybody to join me in a moment of silence for Claire M. Beaton, the stepmom to Councilman Dave Beaton. We are so sorry for your loss. Please join me. Thank you. Time is 7:23, and we will enter public session. Would anyone from the public like to address City Council? Paige?
Good evening.
Paige, can you turn on?
Okay, Stevie.
There you go.
Hi, Paige Weinstein. Tonight I'm here as the owner of 40 Boston Post Road in Allentown. Tonight, you'll receive communication regarding the Allentown Fire Department and their contract, or a tentative successor agreement. Allentown has always been in a catch-up scenario. They have done with less, not through any fault of their own, and never have they ever delivered anything less as far as service. But it's time that we make all of our fire departments equal in this city. Beyond the fact that they cover a commercial area as well with Route 1, they cover the university, multifamily houses in Allentown, and I just, as a owner of a property in Allentown and an owner of a business in Allentown, I can tell you if I need them, they are there. And I just ask for all of you, as we move forward and repair a lot of wounds from the past, that you look at the Allentown Fire Department in this contract in a positive way and do what we can to bring them forward, and so that they are they receive equal compensation against other members of the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to address the City Council? For a second time, would anyone else like to address the City Council? Ma'am?
Sorry. Good evening, all. Vanessa Suarez, Capitol Ave, Hartford, Connecticut. This is a picture of Roya Mohammadi. I'm here today to call for the firing and decertification of the lead detective assigned to investigate Roya Mohammadi's death, Sarasi. We learned 2 weeks ago that the internal affairs investigation into the complaint we filed last April, the investigation was concluded months ago. We were just made aware of this, and we still don't have copies of the findings to the complaint that we filed as the complainants, which is a problem. However, I'm here to focus on what happened and Sarasi's negligence that caused irreparable harm. There's a difference between making a mistake and gross negligence and recklessness. Sarasi intentionally discriminated against Roya. He refused to treat her like a victim of domestic violence because of his biases. And because of that, Roya has paid the price twice. She was ignored when she was still alive pleading for help, and she was ignored after her death. We will never have justice in the form of an arrest or conviction because of Detective Sarasi's negligent, racist, and misogynistic behavior. He was so reckless that even after he was gone, an entire unit was dedicated to Roya's case and countless hours of overtime dedicated, which I'm not supposed to make taxpayers aware because it would upset them to know that thousands of dollars have resulted in absolutely no new findings thus far. We are right where we were 2 years ago, and we're not going to get much further no matter how much money you give to police for overtime in this case, because you can't undo the harm Sarasi did. And that has now been proven by the multiple detectives that have spent the past year trying to recover and process evidence that Sarasi neglected to do. That is how significant the harm has been. That is why Sarasi needs to be held accountable, because what he did has cost everyone but him. It has cost him nothing, and it has cost Roya and her loved ones everything. There should be a cost for when police purposely fail victims of domestic violence. There's not a day that goes by in which Roya's loved ones are not paying the price for what Sarasi did and failed to do, and for the inaction of city leaders. Because of Sarasi's negligence, Roya will likely never be included in data of domestic violence-related homicides that informs how domestic violence shows up in Connecticut. Her death at the hands of her uncle is not included in your data because of Sarasi, and that is an injustice. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Would anyone else from the public like to address the City Council?
Good evening. It's quite an emotional week for us because Thursday is Roya's birthday. It's Thursday, April 16th.
Ma'am, I don't mean to interrupt, but I do need your name and address for the record, please.
Sorry. Nika Zarazvand. I live on Fountain Street in New Haven, Connecticut. It will have been 3 years since Roya Mohammadi died, and 3 years without answers from West Haven Police regarding her death, and 3 years without meaningful action on behalf of City Council or the Mayor to ensure that no other case of suspected femicide will be mishandled again. I want to acknowledge that I did not know Roya. I am not advocating for my family member, and I can't even call her a friend, although I wish I could. I've been fighting for her for 3 years, the way that I believe anyone should for a woman who is killed, whether or not you knew her. Any woman who is killed and still mistreated after her death. And I do this because every woman deserves this, and I do this because I do not want to live in a municipality, this one or otherwise, that does not take impunity, negligence, and racism very seriously. I say this acknowledging the actions that have already been taken on behalf of the mayor and the police to address our concerns. I acknowledge those. Many of these steps, such as investing resources in the police investigation and remaining concerned, have been critical and indispensable actions. Yet it bears mentioning that they do not constitute meaningful action to ensure that femicide is never handled this way ever again. We are not aware of the results of your findings or the investigation, though it was seemingly concluded months ago, and yet I am painfully concerned that the disciplinary measures recommended, or the lack thereof, will not set a new standard within the police department about how femicide cases are handled, especially when they are complex. The way that this detective handled the case, the things he said about Roya's character, and refusing to interview key witnesses, these actions are not from a lack of training. They indicate willful ignorance, racism, and neglect. Being a part of the police force is not a right. It is a conditional privilege that should be wielded very seriously. That's why we believe that to really set a standard for what happens when police mishandle sensitive homicide investigations, the department should fire and decertify Detective Sarasi. Anyone who treats an investigation like that should be seen as a liability for the department who cannot be trusted to handle future investigations or cases. There should be no tolerance for sexism, racism, or willful ignorance in any police force. We witness what the consequences of such tolerance are in the investigation of Roya's death. That loss has been costly and irreparable. What we have been fighting for 3 years has been precisely that, to say that after a woman was killed and taken from us, after the suffering her family has endured from her loss, we can confidently say that the city of West Haven and the police department took it upon themselves to ensure that these specific errors are never repeated again, are never tolerated again, whether through disciplinary measures or updated policies. It is disturbing that the policy dictating when police recover evidence references VHS tapes, indicating that it is wildly outdated and has not been updated. It is concerning that the decision potentially cost taxpayers a lot of money to recover evidence and make up for lost time in this case. Why should gross racism and negligence in the investigation of a woman's death be tolerated? What happens when there is any level of tolerance for this in a police department? If we fail to value and fight for Roya's life, what are we saying her death is worth? I hope the answer in that envelope is not impunity. I hope whatever is in that envelope of findings affirms to us that her death and the way it was handled are treated just as seriously as bodily harm, just as seriously as excessive force. I hope that you haven't decided that a training or a 3-day suspension would stop other detectives or even officers from mistreating victims of gender-based violence or neglecting femicide victims. I hope Roya's legacy in this city is a substantial change that will benefit women like her going forward, and that we can say her death was not in vain. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Would anyone else from the public like to address the City Council? Ma'am?
Yes. My name is Betsy Sloan, and I live at 24 Ward Place in West Haven. I'm an artist, and I am looking for a place to rent, to exhibit for a weekend. I have a huge body of work. I have a fair following, although most of my engagement and busyness for the past 12 years here has been working on this body of work. So I'm just putting it out there. I don't know which other way to go, but I have hearings, leanings of a lot of real estate development and kind of an upsurge in the town, and art should play a role there. I was on the West Haven Arts Council when I first got here, and it was not very functional in 2013, 12. That said, so is there anybody here specifically that I should be talking to besides Peter?
You have the details? Okay. So Councilman Rivera has the details of what you need, including the size room that she's looking for. So I'll have the councilman reach out to all of us, and we all know folks around town, so maybe we can put you in touch with a property owner that might be able to be of suit for you.
That would be wonderful. Because if I go through gallery means, and I've run galleries myself, it would be a year anywhere in the state and beyond. And I don't want to wait that long. All right.
Thank you. Would anyone else from the public like to address the City Council? For a second time, would anyone else from the public like to address the City Council? Mr. Brown? Thank you.
Frederick Brown, 100 Smith Street. I would first of all like to congratulate the cheerleaders and the whole Seahawk program. It's a wonderful program. My cousin's kids participated in it, and they certainly benefited from it. So we're very proud of our cheerleaders, and again, I'd like to congratulate them. I'd like to ask the council to support the firefighters contract. I think we have some of the finest firefighters in West Haven we could possibly ask for. We have lost firefighters because we don't have a pension plan in Allentown, and we've lost firefighters because other cities are providing other benefits, better benefits than we are. So I hope the City Council will stand behind our firefighters. They're doing an excellent job, and I'm very proud to be their commissioner. I hope you'll support their contract. I'd like to endorse the nomination of Kathleen Krolik to the Greater New Haven Transit Board of Directors. Kathleen's our projects manager in West Haven. She's doing an outstanding job. This, I think, is the third time I've done this, and I'm happy to do it every time I stand here. I think she'd be an excellent representative for West Haven on this board. She's certainly doing a great job on economic development. And I'd also like to support the appointment of Rich Deso to a regular member of the Fair Rent Commission. He's involved with quite a bit in the city. He's about to sign on as an Allentown volunteer, and I think he has the experience. He's been an alternate. I agree with this idea of promoting him to a regular member of the commission. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Would anyone else from the City Council, for the public, like to address the City Council? For a second time, would anyone from the public like to address the city council? For a third and final time, would anyone from the public like to address Mr. Mullins? Commissioner? Doctor?
Love the chuckles with that. Okay. All right, Mayor Bohr, Chairman Vargo, councilors, I'm Stephen Mullins, 22 Oak Road in Allentown. First of all, I am just like Commissioner Brown before me and Mrs. Weinstein before him. I'm here to support our Allentown firefighters. I don't have much to say that has not been said before, but being a 20-plus year member of the Volunteer Association, I know firsthand how hard our Allentown or City of West Haven Fire Department, Allentown firefighters work. They are diligent, they are prompt, and that's going from having personal experience, having had a dryer fire at my house about 8 years ago. They are quick with speed. And I've responded to many incidents before, not recently, but in the past, but never had to respond to my own house until I heard it on the radio and had to respond. And actually, I beat you guys there, but they are very diligent in their work, and they do a very good job working with the other departments in town as well as with the volunteers. So I want to thank them for that, and please give them every consideration for what is needed by the City of West Haven Fire Department, Allentown, and thank you for your hard work. Also, I am here as chairman of the Fairmont Commission, to ask you for support for Richard Deso, who has served diligently for the past 2 years as an alternate commissioner of fair rent in the City of West Haven. He is under the renter category, and I have recommended him to be promoted to a full commissioner, replacing Killian Gruber, who served diligently. Rich has done an excellent job as an alternate. Due to our lack of commissioners at this point in time, he is usually able to vote, and he has a very good attendance record, and I look forward to having him serve in the full commissioner capacity going forward. So I'm here in full support of Rich Deso as the full commissioner of fair rent. Thank you.
Before I do another 3 calls on the public, I do know that the mayor has something she would like to say about an item that was brought up.
Yep, so, this is far away. Ladies, I don't know if you're aware that, Vanessa, that a report, the conclusion of your civilian complaint, was sent to you back in January, and it came back undeliverable. So, we're required to send the response to the complaint to the address that you put on the form. So I'm not sure if you're still at that address, but I just sent a text to Paul Dorsey if he can go up and get a copy for you.
Oh, that's great, yeah.
I don't.
Just confirm with our office because there's been different staff and they found the
Okay.
receipt and it was sent early February.
Okay, so I just want to let you know that we did send it. Okay. I sent him a text to grab a copy for you, but I don't know if he went to go make the copy or he left and he didn't get my text. So we'll find out in a few minutes. But if he doesn't come back tonight, if you want to leave a new address for it to be sent to, or we'll get that copy to you. All right. Thank you.
Would anyone else from the public like to address the city council? For a second time, would anyone else from the public like to address the city council? For a third and final time, would anyone from the public like to address the city council? Seeing none, public session is closed. The time is 7:42. I will entertain a motion to approve the journal minutes for the regular meeting of March 23rd, 2026. I have a motion from Councilwoman Heffernan. Right?
Second.
Second from Councilman McMillan. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? 1 abstention, 2 abstentions.
We have Callahan and who?
Akbarali. Motion carries. Madam Clerk, when you are ready, would you please disperse the communications?
Communication A from the tax collector regarding refund of overpayments for April 2026 will be filed with tonight's minutes. Communication B from Chief Joseph Perner regarding animal shelter donations being assigned to the Finance Committee, Chairwoman Akbarali. Communication C from Mayor Dorinda Borer requesting consideration and action regarding the reappointment of Kathy Krolik, 176 McKinley Avenue, New Haven, Connecticut, to the Greater New Haven Transit Board of Directors. Ms. Krolik's appointment will be effective immediately and expires on April 8th, 2027, being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Chairman Ronan. Communication D from Mayor Dorinda Borer requesting consideration and action regarding the appointment of Rich Deso, 200 Oak Street, Apartment 233, West Haven, to the Fair Rent Commission as a full member. Mr. Deso's appointment will be filling a vacancy effective immediately and expires on April 3rd, 2028, being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Chairman Ronan. Communication E from Mayor Dorinda Borer requesting consideration and action on the tentative successor agreement with the West Haven Professional Firefighters, IAFF Local 1198, Allentown, being assigned to the Finance Committee, Chairwoman Akbarali. Communication F from Mayor Dorinda Borer requesting consideration and action regarding a resolution requiring a 10-month moratorium on massage therapy business licensing, being assigned to the Health and Wellness Committee, Chairwoman Tucker. Communication G from Planning and Zoning Commission regarding its approval of the Downtown Municipal Development Plan, being assigned to the Infrastructure and Technology Committee, Chairman Rivera. Communication H from Mayor Dorinda Borer requesting consideration and action regarding an amendment to Chapter 191-56.1.d Sewers of the Code of the City of West Haven, sewer connection permit fees, being assigned to the Legislative Matters Committee, Chairman Quagliani. Communication I from Mayor Dorinda Borer requesting consideration and action regarding an amendment to Chapter 191-56.1.h Sewers of the Code of the City of West Haven, sewer connection fees, being assigned to the Legislative Matters Committee, Chairman Quagliani. Communication J from Mayor Dorinda Borer requesting consideration and action regarding an amendment to Article 1 of Chapter 119, Garbage, Refuse, and Rubbish of the Code of the City of West Haven, being assigned to the Legislative Matters Committee, Chairman Quagliani. Communication K from Mayor Dorinda Borer requesting consideration and action regarding an amendment to Section 119-11 of the Code of the City of West Haven, penalties for garbage, rubbish, and refuse container violations, being assigned to the Legislative Matters Committee, Chairman Quagliani. Communication L from Mayor Dorinda Borer requesting consideration and action regarding an amendment to Section 170-32 of the Code of the City of West Haven, penalties for violating rules and regulations of parks and recreation areas, being assigned to the Legislative Matters Committee, Chairman Quagliani. And Communication M from Mayor Dorinda Borer requesting consideration and action regarding amendment to Chapter 71-5 of the Code of West Haven, of the City of West Haven, regarding penalties for alarm system violations, being assigned to the Legislative Matters Committee, Chairman Quagliani. And that concludes the communication for this evening, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Light day, thank you. We will now enter to committee meetings. First up is the Finance Committee meeting. Chairwoman Akbarali.
Thank you, Chairman. The time is now 7:47, and your Committee on Finance is now in session. Members present are Councilman Donovan, Councilman Quagliani, Councilman Tucker, and myself, Councilwoman Akbarali, as chair. First up, we have our animal shelter donations. Communication B, communication from Chief Joseph Perno regarding animal control donations. I'd like to open this up favorably, please.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Does anybody on the committee have any questions or comments? Anyone on the council? Seeing there are none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Communication E from Mayor Dorinda Borer requesting consideration and action on the tentative successor agreement with West Haven Professional Firefighters, IAFF Local 1198 in Allentown. I'd like to open this up favorably, please.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Mayor Board, did you want to speak on this? Yes, please. Thank you.
Yes, many of our firefighters are here tonight, and I actually just want to thank them on behalf of everyone for all the hard work that you do. You know, we don't get to hear about the daily work that they do. You know, we know that they go in when we're all going out. We know all of that. They do this daily. It could be a medical call. It could be a structural fire. It could be saving somebody from cardiac arrest. They are there for everything. And I have to say, Allentown firefighters, they never complain. They never come forward and complain about the work that they do, about anything in the city. They are team players. They're cheerleaders for everybody in the city of West Haven. They are at every voluntary event, and every volunteer event. I go over there very often, sometimes to speak with them, or at events that are, you know, the three districts are there together, and I'm just really, really proud of them. I think this is a very fair contract. We went back and forth a few times because that's what you do in negotiation, right? We all come with our starting point, and then we meet in the middle, and we come to a point where it's something that's fair for the great service they provide, but also balances out the taxpayers. And I thank you for working with us in a very cohesive way during the negotiation process. And I strongly encourage the council to approve this contract. Thank you, and thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Boer. I couldn't agree more. Does anyone on the committee have any questions or comments? Councilman Quagliani?
Thank you, Chair. I'd just like to take a minute to also thank the firefighters for the work they do. I get to see them probably on a daily basis at the university. They spend a lot of time there, and we appreciate their quick response and their hard work that they do. And listening to the radio every day, they're busy. They're out there all the time, not much rest. This contract is not bringing them to the top. It's bringing them maybe to the midpoint. So I appreciate their stick-to-itiveness, because they could go somewhere else and get paid more and get better benefits, but they love what they do here and working for Allentown. And I think it's a testament to them that as we slowly creep to maybe the midpoint level in a contract, that they've stuck it out all this time and hopefully continue to stick it out. So again, I want to thank them for the work that they do, and I'm very supportive. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Donovan?
Thank you, Chairwoman. Again, exact same thing that Councilman Quagliani. You guys are top notch. The whole city, all the firefighters are top notch. I've been a volunteer in the center for many years. Thank God I'm too old to go out and fight fires. So I'm glad you guys are out there doing it for me. So I do appreciate that. The only question I have, and I don't know if there's a lawyer can answer this question. One is with the contract, either one. Very quick.
We have Chris Hodgson here from Bertram and Moses that helped us negotiate. We also have the chief here for any Manning questions.
Yeah, it is quick, and I'm okay with it. I just wanted
Okay.
I think I know the answer. I just wanted to
Okay.
publicly make sure I'm right. When it comes to the wages part, the added dollar for retro, that only goes until from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, or till now, right?
It's a one-time event.
It's a one-time event, correct? And the following 3 years is just the percentage increase.
Correct.
That's all. Very simple.
Are there any other questions?
No, that was easy.
Yeah, you never know.
That's all the questions I had. That was not a tough one. Thank you, Chairwoman. I'm all
Councilman.
set.
Councilman Tucker?
Yeah, no, I just want to say thank you for all the service that you provided to Allentown residents. I'm an Allentown resident. I'm in the 7th District. I know I've called you guys a couple of times, and my family members have as well. But your professionalism, you know, is unmatched, and I really do appreciate you all. And so I do fully support your contract. So.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Vargo, or Chairman Vargo?
Thank you. Since everybody's here, and Chief, I just want to thank you all for everything that you do for West Haven. I've read over this tentative agreement. I think that is a great compromise. I thank you all for the hard work and all your representatives, the mayor and her staff, the attorneys. I thank everybody for putting your heads together and coming up with an agreement that everybody's able to live with, so that you all can still give the outstanding service to the residents of Allentown that you always have. So thank you very much.
Councilman Beaton.
This is a full circle moment for me. I was a bunkie back in 1991. I lived in the firehouse, and now I get the honor to vote on your contract, which I will vote favorably for. What you do with what you have is remarkable. Having coming from another department that had a lot more staffing than you have, and we always wanted more. What you're doing is truly remarkable. Chief, the minimum staffing is going to go to 6, correct? Yes, sir. And it'll stay at 6 for now? Yes, it will. Only for us to go higher, hopefully.
Chief, I apologize. I need you to come up to the podium, please.
Chief Terenzio, 2 Morse Avenue, West Haven, Connecticut, City of West Haven Fire Chief. Yes, sir. We're at 6 because that's an NFPA standard. We've been diligent in making sure that we're able to get to that without an undue burden on the taxpayer. It will be a minimum, and during critical times, we will do flex manning if the budget allows it. We can up to 7, but we always have to maintain the 6.
Outstanding. Well done.
Thank you.
I want to thank the mayor, too. And I dealt with Mr. Hodgson in negotiations, not the easiest nut to crack. And the pure fact that you did is remarkable. But just mention hockey, you'll get wherever you want in negotiations with him. But I wish you all well. Congratulations.
Thank you all. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other questions or comments? Councilman Callahan? Yep.
Thank you, Chairwoman. And again, I'm in the 6th District as well in Allentown, and I'm also the liaison. Proudly to say and serve for the fire department in Allentown. And my family has grown up and lived in Allentown our whole life. And without getting emotional, they have been there more times than I'd like to even say to help members in my family in an emergency situation. So can't thank you enough. You are fast, efficient, and just thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and I'm happy to support your contract as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Mayor Boer.
Just want to give a shout out to the Allentown Fire Commission because they've been very supportive of your efforts and very supportive of this contract. So I just want to make sure I acknowledge that the commission that helps to work with the department every day is also very supportive.
Thank you, Mayor Boer, and thank you for everything that you do for the city of West Haven and your district in Allentown. West Haven truly appreciates you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing there are none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you, Chairman. The time is now 7:56, and your Committee on Finance is now closed.
Thank you. I'm going to do something a little out of order, but I want to be respectful of you gentlemen and your time. So the time is 7:56. We are recessing committee meetings and reconvening council as a whole. Madam Chair, do you have the resolution in front of you?
I do.
Would you please read it into the record and make a motion?
Communication E to the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven. Your Committee on Finance, to whom was referred the matter of Communication E, from Mayor Durin DeBoer requesting consideration and action on the tentative successor agreement with West Haven Professional Firefighters, IAFF Local 1198 in Allentown. Reports that the committee met on the 13th day of April 2026 to consider said matter. It is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Whereas, pursuant to the provisions of the Connecticut General Statutes, Section 7-467, ETSEQ, the City of West Haven and employee representatives of West Haven Professional Firefighters, IAFF Local 1198, AFL-CIO, engaged in collective bargaining and arrived at a tentative agreement for an employee contract commencing retroactive July 1st, 2025, and to expire on June 30th, 2029, which agreement has now been reduced to writing, and whereas, pursuant to the provisions of Connecticut General Statutes, Section 7-474, the proposed written agreement has now been submitted to the city to the City of West Haven City Council for its approval. Now, therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves and authorizes the city to enter into agreement between the City of West Haven and the City of West Haven Professional Firefighters, IAFF Local 1198, AFL-CIO. Further resolved, Dorinda K. Borer, as Mayor of the City of West Haven, is authorized and directed to execute and deliver any and all documents related to this resolution on behalf of the City of West Haven, and to do and perform all acts and things which she deems to be necessary or appropriate to carry out the terms of such documents, including, but not limited to, executing and delivering all agreements and documents contemplated by such documents. And I so move.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilwoman Akbarelli regarding the approval of a tentative successor agreement with West Haven Professional Firefighters, IAFF Local 1198, Allentown. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Councilman Beaton. Any further discussion? Seeing none. Madam Clerk, roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Melly Garthwaite is absent. Councilman Peter Rivera.
Approved.
Councilman Sean Ronan.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ann Heffernan.
Yes.
Councilwoman Nancy Tagliatella.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sarah Akbarelli.
Yes.
Councilman Gary Donovan.
Yes.
Councilman Edward McMillan.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dawn Callahan.
Yes.
Councilwoman Catherine Tucker.
Yes.
Councilman David Beaton.
Yes.
Councilman Ronald Quagliani.
Yes.
And Chairman Christopher Vargo.
Yes. Motion passes unanimously. Gentlemen, thank you. Okay, time is 8 o'clock.
You don't have to stay.
You can if you want, but.
You can stay if you want.
Good job, okay. All right, so that's that.
Chiefs, thank you all too. Thank you.
Now we have to go back into committee,
Okay, the time is 8:01. We will recess back into committee meetings. The next committee is the Infrastructure and Technology Committee. Chairman Rivera.
The time is 8:01. The Committee on Infrastructure and Technology is now in session. Members present are councilpersons Heffernan, McMillan, Quagliani, and myself, Councilman Rivera, acting as chair. Members absent are Councilwoman Garthwaite. We have before us tonight Communication G from March 25th, 2026 agenda. The report has come back from Planning and Zoning, and I move to accept it.
You need another council person in the committee to make the initial motion to bring it out.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. With that acceptance, the Committee on Infrastructure, we have a vote on the whole council? Okay.
Aye.
Okay, I call a vote.
Aye.
Accept it. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. The Committee on Infrastructure and Technology is now closed at 8:02.
Thank you.
I thought it already went. Does it have to go?
Next up is the Personnel and Civil Service Committee. Chairman Ronan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The time is now 8:02. Committee on Personnel and Civil Service is now in session. Council people present are.
Chairman, your mic's not on. Start all over.
The time is now 8:02. Your Committee on Personnel and Civil Service is now in session. Council people present are Councilwoman Akbar Ali, Councilman Rivera, Councilwoman Tagliatella, and myself, Councilman Ronan, acting as chair. Absent is Councilwoman Garthwaite. We have before us Communication C from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding the reappointment of Kathy Krolak of 176 McKinley Avenue, New Haven, Connecticut, to the Greater New Haven Transit Board of Directors. Ms. Krolak's appointment will be effective immediately and expires on April 8th, 2027. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Second.
Second from Tagliatella. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. We also have tonight before us Communication D from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding the appointment of Mr. Rich Diso, 200 Oak Street, Apartment 233, West Haven, Connecticut, to the Fair Rent Commission as a full member. Mr. Diso's appointment will be filling a vacancy effective immediately and expires on April 3rd, 2028. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Then we have Communication D from the February 23rd, 2026 agenda from Mayor Dorinda Boer. Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding the appointment of Mr. Arthur Kelly, 19 Holcomb Street, West Haven, to the Ethics Commission. Mr. Kelly's appointment will be replacing Richard Tracy, whose term expired and will be effective immediately and expire on January 31st, 2031. And we're going to hold that in committee. And that concludes the business of Personnel and Civil Service at 8:05. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is the Committee on Legislative Matters, Chairman Quagliani.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Your Committee on Legislative Matters is in session at 8:05 p.m. Council members present are Councilwoman Akbar Ali, Councilman Ronan, Councilwoman Tucker, Councilman Quagliani acting as chair, and Councilwoman Melly Garthwaite is absent. Before us is Communication H from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding an amendment to Chapter 191-56-1 Sewers of the Code of the City of West Haven, sewer connection permit fees, and I'd like a motion to bring this out for a first reading.
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Akbar Ali, second.
Second.
No, you're not on the
sorry.
committee. Anybody on the committee like to second that?
I'll second.
Thank you, Councilman Ronan. Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That motion carries. Next up, Communication I from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding an amendment to Chapter 191-56.1 H Sewers of the Code of the City of West Haven sewer connection fees. I'd like a motion to bring that out for a first reading.
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Akbar Ali, second by Councilman Ronan. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Communication J from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding an amendment to Article, could be 1, of Chapter 119 Garbage, Refuse, and Rubbish of the Code of the City of West Haven. I'd like to bring out for a first reading. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Akbar Ali.
Second.
Second by Councilman Ronan. Any discussion? Seeing, go ahead. All in favor?
Aye.
Time is 8:07. The council's in recess. Okay, the time is 8:11, and council is back in session, reconvening the Legislative Matters Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're going to go on to Communication K for Mayor Durandabor requesting consideration and action regarding an amendment to Section 119-11 of the Code of the City of West Haven, penalties for garbage, rubbish, and refuse container violations. I'd like a motion to bring this out for a first reading.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Akbarali.
Second.
Second by Councilman Ronan. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. Communication L from Mayor Durandabor requesting consideration and action regarding amendment to Section 170-32 of the Code of the City of West Haven, penalties for violating rules and regulations of parks and recreation areas. I'd like to bring that out favorably for a first reading.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Akbarali. Motion by Councilwoman Akbarali.
Second.
Second by Councilman Ronan. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. And Communication M from Mayor Durandabor requesting consideration and action regarding an amendment to Chapter 71-5 of the Code of the City of West Haven, penalties for alarm system violations. I'd like to bring that out favorably for first reading.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Akbarali.
Second.
Second by Councilman Ronan. Discussion. We have Deputy Chief Romano here that'd like to speak to us about it.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. Basically, just a little information on the false alarms and how we go about servicing them in this community. A false alarm fine is meant to reflect the real cost of police response and encourage responsible use of alarm systems. Our current $50 fee no longer does that. Over the last 2 years, our agency has responded to approximately 2,900 burglar alarm calls. Out of those 2,900 burglar alarm calls, about 2,800 of them were false alarms and required officers, vehicles, and time that could have been directed to real emergencies. These fines primarily apply to businesses, and only after a third false alarm, giving owners ample opportunity to correct the issues before any penalty is even issued. So we do give them a chance to fix the problem. Raising the fee to $200 is about accountability, not revenue. It helps reduce unnecessary calls and ensures our officers are available where they truly need it to be, when they're needed to be there as well. That's basically just a little synopsis of what we're going through.
Thank you, Chief. Mayor, you have anything you'd like to discuss?
I think the covered it. Thank you.
Anybody else have any discussion on the committee or on the council as a whole? Councilman Donovan?
Thank you, Chairman. Why not go higher with the fine? Is it mostly,
Attorney Dorsey would like to speak on this
Commercial?
subject. Sir?
Thank you, Chief. Great question. The fine has to be consistent with, like the Chief said, reasonable and reimbursement of the cost of calls. So we can't, like the Chief said, can't make this a revenue gathering device, but rather a deterrent from false alarms, but also a payment to the police department and calls the first responders who respond to the alarms.
all right,
Thank you, sir.
thank you for that. Thank you, Chairman.
You good? Councilwoman Heffernan?
Councilwoman, Mike?
3,000, well, I'm rounding it up, 3,000. Can we just go 3,000? I mean, it's almost
3,000 over the past 2 years.
over 2 years,
Yes.
okay. But before that, were you monitoring the numbers? Were
We
you-
monitor them every year. I have a whole case of statistics right here. We're actually down this year about 250 calls, which is a step in the right direction, but still, it's definitely time to address these fines.
It's like 8 calls a day? Right? I mean, that's a lot.
Quite possibly.
That's-
It's a lot. We do a lot of burglar alarm calls, a lot.
And you get 3 chances a year or 3 chances total? I know it's a kind of a crazy question, but
Yeah, I mean, One thing we can do is, you know, obviously sit down and talk to people, but primarily businesses are our major offenders, and they're coming in rapidly. So it's not like, you know, we're getting one here, getting one there. We may get 3 in a month if they're having a problem with their alarm. So it's something that needs to be addressed rather quickly, and we'd like to sit down with them and try to effectively do that quickly to resolve that problem.
You guys came to an alarm for where I worked, and it was really nice, really great, though, so.
No problem, we're here to help.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman.
Councilman Beaton?
Chief, or Mr. Dorsey, does the fire department have a similar ordinance? With the same monetary value as well, not to confuse people?
So this is a city ordinance.
Right, so
Okay.
the city of Allentown Fire Department, they have the same?
Right, so, yes, enforceable by the police department.
Okay.
But if, it would apply to any alarm signal that cause responders to arrive at the scene.
Councilwoman Callahan? Sorry.
Thank you, Chairman. Hello.
Hi.
What is, I know it's probably hard to pinpoint it, but is there a general consensus of what the majority, the false alarms are from? Is it from people not being educated how to shut the alarms off, employees? I know residential is a different area, and I myself have had, you know, when you don't hit that alarm in time, or you put the
Sure.
wrong code in,
Sure.
you guys get called.
Yep, and that's a great question, and like I said before, the households primarily, that happens every once in a while, but it's the businesses that are continuously giving us these issues. You know, user error is definitely a big part of it, but it's more for like the maintenance guy that's going in to clean the building at 5 o'clock in the morning that's continuously setting it off, and that's why we're getting sent to these places.
So it's more about just educating them and getting whoever's working. in the
Absolutely,
building.
and that's why we give them 3 chances. We give them that opportunity to try to get their system correct. If they need to call their security company, they could do so, but 3 chances, you know, after that, we have to, we really
That's
do
a
have
lot,
to.
and the bulk of it is businesses, so, yeah, I agree.
Sure.
Thank you.
No problem.
Councilman McMillan?
Good evening, sir. Just a quick question. So with the increase in fines, excuse me.
Sure.
Will we be contacting the businesses with the updates so they're aware of what's going on as it relates to these fines?
Well, the good thing about it is usually we have to go there in the first place, so we say, hey, listen, this is fine number 1 right here.
Oh, okay.
And then the next time we can go, we say, hey, listen, this is fine number 2. You really need to fine tune your alarm system, because if we come out an additional time, you're gonna receive a substantial fine. So that's
But
probably.
there won't be any like preventive.
Probably
just
not,
as-
but we could put it on social media through the police department,
Okay.
which could be a great way to just reach out to people. That's a great idea.
Okay, thank you, sir.
We could do that as well.
Yep.
Any other discussion? All right, and no more discussion, all in favor? To bring out for the first reading? In the committee on the alarms?
Aye.
We're gonna go back to that. Oh, you
No,
wanna say
I don't
something?
care when I say it. I don't care when I say
All right, we're still,
it.
Mayor, we're still under discussion, go ahead.
We're talking about the alarms, right? There's so much going on.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Interesting.
And by the way, Steve is heading to the hospital, so I just want everybody to know that. I just wanted to say that we understand one false alarm could be a mistake. Second false alarm, it could be still, you know, learning experience, and you warn them. Third one is, you know, the ticket is, we're not gonna not go back out there. You know, if there's another alarm after the third one, we're always going to respond. It's just a matter of, you know, this requires folks to pay attention a little bit more to how to use their alarm, because we, you know, it does come down to dollars and cents, because we have to cover the salary for our officers, and if 2 officers are going to a third false alarm, when they could be on the street doing other things.
And Mayor, that's a great point. We always do send 2
You send
officers
2 at a
to every
time,
alarm.
right.
So
So we
that's
have to
2
send a
vehicles, 2
message.
police officers.
Right, but I just want to make it clear, we're never not going to go, but we
Yep.
do have to send a message. Thank you.
Any other discussion on the alarm? Yeah. First reading, Councilman Donovan.
Yeah, sorry about that. So this is, I'm glad you guys do that.
Sure.
And you're sending 2 officers. That's why I was asking about the fee. It seems low, because you're sending 2 officers 3 times, possibly. right? And that's the only thing I was thinking.
Sure, it's a
that
lot of
fine
resources.
Might have been a little low. I think we should go up to, double that at least, but, I don't know if that's out of the realm of what an officer, how that would work out with that, but, all right, thanks.
Anyone else? Okay, just back to the committee. All in favor of first reading?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Mr. Chairman, your Committee on Legislative Matters is closed at 8:22 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I want to reset a little bit. We had a medical emergency in the audience, so I know we had to take care of that, and we were jumbled around a little bit. I do know that we have Commissioner Butler here to speak on the sewer fee increases, and the mayor had some words as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reconvene council as a whole again. The time is 8:22, and Commissioner Butler, if you would like an opportunity to speak on those two matters, please come up. Can you hit the button? Hit the button. Thank you.
Paul Butler, 8 Alexander Drive. I'm here on behalf of the water pollution of 2 Beach Street. What do you guys got for me?
Mayor?
Yeah, I just want to first of all thank Paul because, so he's worked very hard at studying what other municipalities do. And as you recall, about maybe 5 months ago, we brought an ordinance before the city council increasing the fees for the residential hookup, so that if there's a new sewer hookup, it was $3,500 fee. We didn't really, we found, address as well as we could have the commercial aspect. So this is about the initial hookup, but it's also going to look at the flow of the usage of the water, right, that comes
Correct.
into a building as a guideline for what we should be charging. So we've been charging the same amount for a little, little mom and pop versus a 500 employee building. So we want to address that and make it based on a little bit more criteria, correct?
Yes.
And our permit fee.
Yes. And we've been doing very well since August of 2024 with this. It's something that the city council and yourself implemented and doing very well with it, which other municipalities, cities, towns been doing, and we haven't. So we've been doing excellent. We're just looking to increase the permit fees from $70 to $150. And like the mayor said, we focused on residential, and we didn't really focus on commercial or industrial, but we have now, and that's before you that we're hoping that will pass.
And that one is communication H, correct? That's the connection permit fees?
Correct.
And that's increasing from,
That was a standard of 3,500.
Yep.
We're looking to increase it, like the mayor said, based on flow in the commercial and industrial properties.
and these numbers are in line with our neighbors? You've
Yes.
conducted that
yes.
study?
We called 7 other surrounding towns and cities, and we're right in the ballpark.
Great. Is there any discussion for the commissioner? Any questions for the mayor? No? Commissioner, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, the time is 8:25, and we will now recess into committee meetings. Next up is Health and Wellness. Chairwoman Tucker.
Hi, good evening. It's 8:22 p.m. and the Committee on Health and Wellness is now in session. Members present are Councilwoman Ann Heffernan, Councilman Sean Ronan, Councilwoman Nancy Tagliatella, and Melly Garthwaite is absent. We have before us tonight a communication from Mayor Dorinda Bora requesting consideration and action regarding a resolution requiring a 10-month moratorium on massage therapy business licensing. May I have a motion, may I entertain a motion to bring this out favorably and for discussion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Would you like to talk about this, or would you like me to have Officer Romano come?
We could do both. Both Chief Perno and Deputy Chief Romano are here. If you have any questions for them, why we feel this is important. But, you know, we took a look at strengthening our regulations on how these organizations are approved. And we think we can strengthen what the rules are that we put in place before the permit is issued. We have seen in other municipalities that massage therapy are not necessarily used for the purpose that they are requested for, and very often, you know, it turns into human trafficking. And we just saw this recently in Naugatuck. We don't want to see that happen in our city, so we said let's take a step back and make sure we got all our ducks in a row and we protect those from any of those horrible crimes by making sure we're doing our part to have legitimate businesses in our city.
Thank you. Chief Perno? Deputy Chief Romano, also, if you'd like to add anything, you're welcome.
Joe Perno, 200 Sawmill Road. Basically, if you've had the time to digest the ordinance, it is so outdated and so unenforceable. There are things in there that the police department is supposed to go in and check and make sure a door does not lock. That shouldn't be something that the police department does. That should be something that the building department or planning and zoning has put in their regulations for a business. This does not go against physical therapy that is going to be for a sports injury or an injury that someone has. We're not addressing that. This is just someone that is there, and that's one of the things that they try to get around, where they say massage therapy. This says massage establishments. So if they put in the word therapy, they kind of circumvent the ordinance. But in speaking with Corp Counsel, both present and past, this ordinance has to be totally revamped to address what the mayor has said as illegal activity with the caveat of human trafficking, which is what we've been seeing around in neighboring towns and cities. And I really don't want that to happen here. We have had one that's slipped through the cracks, to be honest with you. And it's right down the street, and we basically told them, you know, it's not happening here. You can't have that. There's things, as antiquated as they are, there are things that you have to follow in order to get that permit. Some of the things that are in there, each employee has to have a permit, and that's never been addressed. The fees are totally out of whack. They're like $50. I mean, that's ridiculous. And advertising. Some of the ones that are offering illegal activities are not something that is going to be in the New Haven Register or on TV. They're using other social media platforms to get this message out that what they are offering. But the bottom line is, the mayor and everybody else, even on this council, is doing everything that they possibly can to attract business here. And this is not the businesses that we want coming into West Haven. And if our own ordinance is allowing it, then that's something that we have to look at and address. Because if we go just by this, we have actually nothing, because they can just put in their massage therapy, and there's nothing that this ordinance has to do with it. They just open it up and go about their merry way. So in speaking with some of the things that we've been dealing with lately, permits coming to us, and trying to just push them to the side until we get this done. Speaking with the mayor and Corp Counsel Cassini, this is the best way. The moratorium is the best way that we can do, and let's just take a couple steps back. Let's see what this ordinance looks like, and let's get one that's workable, that we can enforce and that works for the community, because you don't want one of these establishments opening up next to your residents. That's basically all I have to say, because I don't want them in this town.
I have a question.
Um,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah,
This may be
Coun-
unrealistic,
Councilwoman
but is there a
Tagliatella.
number?
I'm sorry?
It may be an unrealistic question, but is there a number of massage parlors that could be in the city?
That could be in the city?
Could put a cap on it, or?
I don't want any, if that's what
Right,
you're
well,
asking.
exactly, but,
But that'll have to be, drafted into the new ordinance.
and there's no checks. People don't go in and check these, businesses.
I would hazard to put my officers in that situation, and I don't think that their clients are gonna come out and tell us exactly what happened in there.
No, but maybe if they apply for, to rent a building space, like maybe they need to show that they're an actual massage therapist, like show their license, I don't know, just,
But
it
that-
seems
there-
too
it's-
easy.
That is not addressed in this ordinance, because they'll massage therapy.
Okay.
So the therapy end of it, where they are quote-unquote treating an injury,
Right.
then that circumvents this
Okay.
ordinance.
It just seems so easy for them just to come in and,
Yep,
like you said, one is enough,
none, I don't want any.
so.
It's human trafficking, it's illicit activity,
Yep.
and we've already had some instances of assaults, so, no, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Okay. All right, thank you. Mayor?
So what we're trying to do, I understand where you're going with this, like, what can we do? That's the issue. We want to strengthen what we can do, but we want to strengthen it up front before they're even opened. What is the process for approval? So when the chief said one slipped through the cracks, I want to be clear, there wasn't human trafficking at this organization, but we got a report of activity there that did not sound in line with what this business was opened for. It was not appropriate. The chief himself went over to the business to check it out and said, you're going to close down until, we figure things out. And they opened back up, but it just forced us to say, well, how are these organizations getting approved in the first place to be a massage organization? So let's put a tighter framework around what is massage therapy, what is a massage organization, before any others open up and then they're grandfathered in. Let's take it all back and let's tighten it up and make sure we nip it in the bud before they even open their business.
Well, like I said, there's a big difference between what these businesses are leaning on in physical therapy, like, or if you have an injury from Connecticut Ortho and you go to therapy or something. It's a big difference.
Does anybody else have any questions? First, Chairman Vargo.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Chief and Deputy Chief, thank you for being here, and thank you for taking the time. I know that the mayor, her staff, and everybody's been working very hard to make West Haven attractive to new businesses, but in so doing, we also have to make sure that we attract businesses that are not going to provide a danger to the health and wellness of our citizens and people visiting us. So if you all are identifying a problem that we need to address, then I fully support that we take a pause, however long that we need to make sure that our ordinances are strong and that we could easily identify and single out these unsavory business activities and make sure that we keep everybody safe. So thank you for being proactive and identifying this problem and giving us a solution that we can act on right away. And I look forward to seeing what you all put together in the next couple months. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Ronan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thanks, Chief, for bringing this forward. This is a huge issue in human trafficking. What a lot of people don't realize is there's different girls all the time. So I'll address the elephant in the room. This is all just sexual exploitation of young women and immigrants And I'm glad you're taking a first step, and we're going to get a handle on this. Other cities, municipalities aren't going to be, well, they aren't, because there were a lot in the city that I worked in, you know?
True.
And, yeah, and they would just bring them in van loads, different girls all the time. So this is a great first step. And along with whatever sexual activities happen, it compounds because, you know, people get robbed outside there. People deal drugs outside there. And inside. And a lot of that crime goes unnoticed because the victims don't call and report that, hey, I just got robbed at the massage parlor.
Correct.
For whatever reason, their significant other or even just publicly, they don't want people to know, right, that they were in a massage parlor. So I think this is a great first step. We put the brakes on it, get it all under control, and bring our ordinance up to the 21st century, and move on from there. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Does anybody on the rest of the council have any comments or questions? Yeah.
I just also want to point out that we're taking a second look at nail salons also. We know that that is also often an avenue for human trafficking and labor exploitation as well. So I know the state of Connecticut is working to strengthen the licensing, right, and what's required. So we're going to be looking at that as well to see what's required of those who work there and how often we can visit them and what agency will be visiting them, because health department plays a role in this as well.
Right. And I just want to make a comment also that we can't forget the impact that this has on public health, because obviously, you know, you have to be concerned for transmission of diseases and such. And so it is something to consider, you know, and we do need to make sure we keep our eyes on what's happening from a public health perspective, because those numbers are also on the rise for things like, you know, HIV and syphilis and other sexually transmitted diseases. So when you have issues like that in the community, you do have to pay additional attention to the public health overall. So with that being said, does anybody else have any more questions? Okay. Or comments? Thank you so much, Chief.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
All right. So, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the motion carries. Your Committee on Health and Wellness is now closed at 8:40.
Thank you. Time is 8:40. Council as a whole is reconvening. We'll move on to unfinished business charter revision. And I'm going to ask Councilman Quagliani to give us an update from the Charter Revision Commission.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Charter Revision Commission met this past Thursday on the 9th, and so far have taken the following actions. They've created an action list of items to review. They're still taking new items. If anybody from the public or this body would like to submit recommendations or suggestions to them. They passed a gender neutrality language unanimously. They passed a motion that the council's term will remain at 2 years unanimously. They passed a motion unanimously that the mayor's term be increased from 2 years to 4 years. They passed a unanimous motion that the tax collector will change from an elected position to an appointed position. They passed unanimously that the treasurer will change from elected position to an appointed position. They had some healthy discussion regarding the city clerk, but made a motion to have the city clerk be an elected position for a 4-year term. That motion failed, so currently they're still discussing the city clerk. They changed chairman language throughout the charter to read chair, and they're also doing a lot of work on reformatting the charter so it reads more cohesively. And that's what I have to report so far, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilman Quagliani. Specifically with respect to the timing that we have, I know that once the commission presents its draft report to us, we have 30 days to review it, and then we could submit recommendations or further questions, and then they have, and Corporation Counsel, please correct me if I'm wrong on the timing, but they have 15 days to act on that, and then once they send the second report to us, it's a thumbs up, thumbs down on the entirety, and I'm very cognizant of the amount of time that we have. So I understand that since they are choosing to vote piecemeal on some of these items and allowing Corp Counsel and the consultant to start preparing the draft, that it would not be inappropriate that if something comes out of the commission at this stage and it spurs a follow-up question or request, that we could send them a communication and ask that they consider something that is spurred because of what they've decided. So I would like to propose that we send a communication to the Charter Review Commission through Council Liaison Councilman Quagliani on two issues. First one is I would like to ask the commission whether or not there should be any guidelines in the charter with respect to the functions of the treasurer being segregated from another employee of City Hall. The reason for that is the treasurer is a check and balance on the finance department. They're the second signatory and another eyes on the checks, and they're an independent person outside of the department. So I would like to know if the commission has any ideas of whether or not there should be something in the charter for that, or is that something else that either we or the mayor are going to take up separately. With respect to both the treasurer functions and also the tax collector, because these were originally elected positions and the electorate as a whole had a decision to make these to put folks into these important positions, I'd like the commission to consider whether or not these positions, or frankly any position that previously was an elected position but now is appointed, should require city council confirmation. And I would like to request that they consider those two items. Is there any discussion on that? I'm going to ask for a motion, but does anybody have any general discussion or any other items that they would like the Charter Review Commission to look into? Councilman Donovan?
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. No, I definitely agree with the treasurer, with that statement. You know, you can't have anybody in our finance department looking over themselves, right, and checks and balances, and then, so I agree with that. As opposed to everything else that the Charter Revision came out with. I was back and forth with the 2 years with the city council. I initially said that it should be 4 along with the mayor. Then I sat back, thought about it. I don't know, does somebody want to be committed for 4 years on the city council? But at the same time, they know what they're getting into when they run. So I'm still kind of on the fence with that as well. But I do agree with you definitely with the treasurer on that aspect. So, yeah, I think we should be able to, has to be somebody outside of City Hall.
Okay. And just as a reminder, once the commission gives us the first draft, we have an opportunity to take a look at the whole document, all the changes, the exact wording, and deliberate and vote on any suggestions, questions, whatever we want to do. So this isn't the end-all, be-all. My point is that decisions that have been made, in my mind, have now spurred new things that we hadn't considered before that I think that the commission should take up. Is there anything else along those lines that the council wants to recommend?
No, but I will say that, sorry.
Sure.
No, but I will say that I do agree with you that we don't want, well, Mayor is wonderful and has been doing a phenomenal job. We have you now, and we don't know who we're gonna have later, when the city charter is in full effect. And my whole, concern would be for removing checks and balances and then consolidating power where that person that's now in that office that doesn't necessarily behave the way that we've seen you behave may or may not do what you've done. And so then we're locked in after that. And so that's my only concern and the caution that I would take with considering any of the things that, were mentioned there. I'm really, in favor of having, more oversight, checks and balances than I am for just consolidating power and oversight to less people, because we're already taking it out of the public's hands by having people appointed as opposed to being elected. And so that's what I would say.
Thank you. Any other? Okay, at this time, I'm going to ask for a motion that the City Council sends a letter to the Charter Revision Commission through the City Council liaison. One, requesting that they consider whether there should be any. Corporation Council, would you mind coming up? Specifically for the language on the treasurer and whether or not there should be any restrictions on who, on any employee, current employee, can serve those functions. How, can you perhaps give me a suggestion on how to phrase that request to them?
It sounded to me like you wanted to bifurcate employee positions and employee responsibilities from the responsibilities of the officer of the treasurer.
Basically, yes.
So then you could condition that the treasurer herself, himself, not be a full-time employee or not be a full-time employee in the finance department.
Okay.
You could commission that it not be a public servant at all, and that it be a private entity or a private individual that's hired to do so.
Okay, so if we ask the commission to consider whether or not the functions of the treasurer should be separated from the finance department, certainly, and possibly from an employee of.
I would probably word it this way. You're asking them to consider whether or not they believe that in the charter that the functions of the treasurer should be separable from the office, the Department of Finance, and if so, how? If they say yes to the first question, then they're going to come up with an answer for the second question. You can then propose a couple of opportunities for them to say yes and this way, or yes and that way.
I like it. Let's do that. What he said.
What he said. I'll listen to the tape.
So I'm looking for a motion to do what he said, and then whether or not the charter should require city council confirmation of appointed positions that were previously elected positions. And that should be a separate. Okay, that's separate. Well, I'm gonna do one letter. I'm gonna do one letter.
Okay, but are you doing two motions?
No, just one motion for that letter.
Okay.
Is everybody clear on the motion? Do I have a motion? I have a motion from Councilwoman Tagliatella. I have a second from Councilman McMillan. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. That's all on charter revision, Councilman? We're good? Perfect, thank you. Okay, we will now go into committee reports. At this time, will the city council clerk please read communication A into the record?
Communication A from the tax collector regarding refund of overpayments from April 2026, which will be filed with tonight's minutes.
Thank you. Next up is Finance Committee Chairwoman Accarelli.
Thank you, Chairman. Communication B, to the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven. Your Committee on Finance, to whom was referred the matter of the animal control donations, reports that the committee met on the 13th day of April 2026 to consider said matter. It is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Resolved, the City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves the animal shelter donations totaling $375.04 to be deposited into the animal shelter donations account 101-000-00-28285. Sharon Ann Molster, $100. Dolores Semino, $25. Carol Banks, $100. Melissa Panas, $50. Susan Walker, $50. Carpet and Tile by the Mile LLC, $50. And I so move.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilwoman Accarelli regarding animal control donations. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilwoman Heffernan. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Thank you, Chairman. That concludes the business with finance.
Thank you. Moving on to Infrastructure and Technology, Chairman Rivera.
We received communication E from Planning and Zoning Commission regarding the approval of the Downtown Municipal Development Plan. We received the report and the committee accepted it. Move to accept.
I have a motion to accept the report from Planning and Zoning Commission regarding the Downtown Municipal Development Plan. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you from Councilwoman Heffernan. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Before we move on, I am looking for a motion to refer the Downtown Municipal Development Plan to the West Haven Redevelopment Agency for a public hearing.
So moved.
I have a motion from Councilman Quagliani. Do I have a second? Second from Councilman Beaton. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next up is Personnel and Civil Service, Chairman Ronan.
Thank you, Mr.
Your mic.
Chairman. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, your Committee on Personnel and Civil Service, to whom was referred the matter of the reappointment of Kathleen Krolek, 176 McKinley Avenue, New Haven, Connecticut, as Director to the Greater New Haven Transit District Board of Directors, reports that the committee met on the 13th day of April, 2026, to consider said matter. It is a unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Resolved, the City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves the reappointment of Kathleen Krolek, 176 McKinley Avenue, New Haven, Connecticut, as Director to the Greater New Haven Transit District Board of Directors. Ms. Krolek's appointment will be effective immediately and expires on April 8th, 2027, and I so move.
I have a motion from Councilman Ronan regarding the reappointment of Kathy Krolak to the Greater New Haven Transit Board of Directors. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilwoman Heffernan. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
To the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, your Committee on Personnel and Civil Service, to whom was referred the matter of the appointment of Rich Dizo, 200 Oak Street, West Haven, Connecticut, as a full member of the Fair Rent Commission, reports that the committee met on the 13th day of April 2026 to consider said matter. It is a unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Resolved, the City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves the reappointment of Rich Dizo, 200 Oak Street, Apartment 233, West Haven, Connecticut, as a full member of the Fair Rent Commission. His appointment will be filling a vacancy and will expire on April 30th, 2028, and I so move.
I have a motion from Councilman Ronan regarding the appointment of Rich Diso as a full commissioner to the Fair Rent Commission. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Tagliatella. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Communication D from the 2/23/26 agenda will be held.
Thank you.
That concludes the business of Personnel and Civil Service.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to legislative matters. Chairman Quagliani.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, your Committee on Legislative Matters, to whom was referred the matter of Communication H, met this evening. It was the unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented, that a first read be given, and the summary is summary of an ordinance amending Section 191-56.1.d of the Code of the City of West Haven. The proposed ordinance amends Section 191-56.1.d of Chapter 191 Sewers by increasing the sewer connection permit fee from $70 to $150. And I'd also ask for a public hearing date, Mr. Chairman.
Public hearing will be scheduled for April 27th, right? April 27th, 2026 at 6:54 p.m.
Your Committee on Legislative Matters was referred Communication I. Communication I was presented to the committee and asked to be brought out for a first read, and that will be summary of an ordinance amending Section 191-56.1H of the Code of the City of West Haven. The proposed ordinance amends Section 191-56.1.h of Chapter 191 Sewers by increasing the minimum sewer connection fee for commercial, industrial, and retail buildings from $3,500 to $7,000. And I so move, and I also need a public hearing date, please.
Public hearing will be scheduled for April 27th, 2026 at 6:55 PM.
Your Committee on Legislative Matters, to whom is referred to the matter of Communication J, met this evening and unanimously brought forward a motion for a first reading regarding Communication J, an ordinance amending the code of the City of West Haven, Chapter 119, Garbage, Rubbish, and Refuse. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of West Haven, Section 119-11 of Chapter 119 of the Code of City of West Haven is hereby amended to read as follows: 119-1 Penalties for offenses. Any person, firm, or business violating any of the provisions of this article shall be fined $100 for each offense, and said rubbish container shall be subject to immediate removal at the owner's expense. Each day the violation continues shall be deemed a separate offense.
Councilman Quagliani?
Yes.
That's, they're unfortunately in the packet, they were reversed.
Okay, let's try Communication J. 119-11 Penalties for offenses. Any person, firm, or business violating any of the provisions of this article shall be fined $100 for each offense, and said rubbish collection shall be, that's not it either, is it? All right, why don't you,
Stand by.
this is K.
Yeah, whatever's attached to K is
K is J?
K is J.
Follow the agenda and then make a mark on the actual communication.
No, we
There's
looked
J.
at them already. K has.
Chris. Chris. Chris.
Time is 8:59, we're going to take a short recess. Okay, sorry about that. The time is 9:04. The council's back in session, and we are still in legislative matters.
Regarding Communication J, your committees met, and to bring out a first reading. Summary is the proposed amendment recognizes existing sections of Article 1 to add definitions at the beginning and adds a section for commercial, industrial, institutional, mixed-use properties and residential properties containing 3 or more dwelling units that utilize dumpsters or similar bulk refuse containers. This section shall also apply to temporary dumpsters associated with construction, demolition, or renovation activities and provides fines for creation of blight. And I so move, and I'd like a public hearing date on Communication J, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Public hearing will be scheduled for April 27th at 6:56 p.m.
Okay, your Committee on Legislative Matters met regarding Communication K and brought out unanimously for a first reading to the council, which is the communication is to formally request that the City Council approve the attached amendment to Section 119-11 of the Code of the City of West Haven, increasing the penalty from $50 to $100 for violations of the provisions of Article 1.1 containers of the Chapter 119 Garbage, Rubbish, and Refuse. Violations of Article 2 currently include the failure to obtain a container or dumpster permit, the failure of contractors to maintain a bond for damages, and the failure to maintain safety equipment for containers and dumpsters on any street, highway, or sidewalk. And I so move and request a public hearing date.
Public hearing on, we're on K. Will be on April 27th at 6:57.
Your Legislative Matters Committee met for regarding Communication L to bring out for a first reading. Summary of Communication L. Summary of an amendment to Section 170-32 of the Code of the City of West Haven, penalties for violating rules and regulations of parks and recreation areas. The proposed amendment would increase the penalty from $50 to $100 for violations of provisions of Chapter 170, Parks and Recreation Areas. Chapter 170 currently regulates certain activities such as the use of park areas for commercial purposes, parking in designated areas, dumping of garbage, kindling of fires, undressing, disorderly conduct, consumption of alcoholic beverages, polluting of beaches and water, disturbing plants, wild animals, property or structures, and maintaining domestic animals on parks and recreation areas. And I so move, and I need a public hearing date.
Thank you, and I just realized that my mic wasn't on and no one called me out on it, so to say it again, Communication K public hearing is April 27th at 6:57, and Communication L 4/27 at 6:58.
Your Legislative Matters Committee met regarding Communication M to be brought out for a first reading, which is the proposed amendment to Section 71-5 of the Code of City of West Haven, penalties for alarm system violations. The proposed amendment will increase the penalty from $50 to $200 for violations of the provisions of the Chapter 71 alarm systems. Violations of Chapter 71 currently include the failure to maintain an automatic silencing device on audible burglar alarm systems, failure to maintain with the police department a list of at least 2 persons authorized to secure the premises in the event of emergency, and for experiencing more than 3 false alarms within a 3-month period. And I so move and request a public hearing date.
Excuse me, Chairman, before we
Yes.
go on that, is there any way I can amend or request to amend that money to go from 200 to, say, 300?
We would have to check state statute and make sure there's not a maximum.
Okay.
So if you want to hold it, you can do that, or
No, I don't want to hold it up. I just didn't know if there was,
I think, and I don't know that PD was in favor of going higher than 200, because originally they said 100, and I made it 2.
okay.
So,
I just, we're sending 2 officers out
yeah,
3 times,
Yeah.
For one
I
building, but.
could check state
All
statute,
right,
it's up to you.
I'll,
Leave it as is?
we'll leave it as is.
Okay, we'll leave it as is. Public hearing on Communication M will be April 27th, 2026 at 6:59.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That includes the business of legislative matters.
Thank you. Last but not least, bless you. What a night. What a night. All right. And on that note, health and wellness. Chairwoman Acquarelli, or not Tucker.
Yeah,
Good
the, to the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, your Committee on Health and Wellness, to whom was referred the matter of Communication F from Mayor Dorinda Borer, requesting consideration regarding a resolution requiring a 10-month moratorium on massage therapy business licensing. Reports that the committee met on the 13th day of April 2026 to consider said matter. It is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Whereas the City of West Haven is committed to protecting the public health and safety and welfare of all residents, businesses, and visitors. And whereas the city has determined that a review and update of the existing regulatory framework governing massage therapy establishments is necessary to ensure that such businesses operate in a lawful, transparent, and professional manner. And whereas the city seeks to support and encourage legitimate therapeutic massage establishments that provide beneficial services to the community and comply fully with all applicable state and local laws. And whereas the city also recognizes the need to address and prevent unlawful or illicit activities that may occur under the guise of massage therapy operations, and to ensure that licensing procedures do not inadvertently facilitate such activity. And whereas, pursuant to the general police powers granted to the city under Chapter 2 of the West Haven Charter, including the authority to regulate businesses and protect the public health, safety, and welfare, the City Council is empowered to adopt measures necessary to address emerging regulatory concerns. And whereas the West Haven Code of Ordinances authorizes the city to regulate the licensed businesses operating within its jurisdiction, including establishing requirements, conditions, and procedures for such licensing. And whereas Connecticut General Statute 19A-343C 14C expressly acknowledges the authority of municipalities to regulate massage establishments, particularly those that may impact public safety or employ individuals not licensed by the state. Whereas the implementation of a temporary moratorium on the issuance of new massage therapy business licenses will allow the city sufficient time to evaluate, revise, and strengthen its ordinances, zoning provisions, licensing requirements, and enforcement mechanisms. And whereas the mayor and the city council affirms their ongoing commitment to maintaining a safe, healthy, and secure environment for all who live, work, and visit the city of West Haven. Now therefore be it resolved by the city council of the city of West Haven that 1, a moratorium of 10 months be hereby enacted on the acceptance, processing, and issuance of any new massage therapy business licenses within the city of West Haven. 2, this moratorium shall take effect immediately upon adoption of this resolution. 3, during the moratorium period, city staff, including but not limited to the Department of Planning and Development, the Building Department, the Police Department, and the Office of the Corporation Counsel, shall conduct a comprehensive review of all applicable ordinances, regulations, and licensing procedures related to massage therapy establishments. Upon completion of this review, staff shall prepare and present recommendations for amendments or updates to the City Council for consideration. This moratorium shall not apply to massage therapy businesses that are currently licensed and operating in good standing as of the effective date of this resolution. The City Council affirms its decision to ensuring that West Haven remains a safe, vibrant, and welcoming committee for all, and I so move.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilman Tucker regarding a resolution requiring a 10-month moratorium on the issuance of new massage therapy business licensing. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Quagliani. Any discussion? See none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
This concludes the business of the Health and Wellness Committee.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to council liaison reports. Any reports? Councilman Ronan? Your mic.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Being a liaison to
You just do this on purpose now.
to the water pollution control facility, Councilman Beaton and I last Monday went and toured the facility. It was very informative. A lot of stuff happens there.
Good choice of words.
Thank you, Mayor.
Good choice of words.
And it was pretty informative, and so, we're gonna bring with, that to budget deliberation stuff. There was a lot of information that they gave us, and, a lot of good stuff.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other council liaison reports? Seeing none?
Sorry,
Council, yep.
the library is having a book sale April 25th at the main library.
Thank you. Councilman Callahan?
Correct me if I have the date wrong. Mayor, what's the cleanup date for the city, the 25th? April 25th. Just, I guess it's all of us. So whoever can get on board, I like the flyer, share it on social media. And also, I know that, talking to Kathy before too, going to get some of the West River, folks on board because they have a great cleanup committee too. So hopefully it's a great day. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other liaison reports? Seeing none. New business from the council? Mayor, it's all yours.
Okay. These microphones are weird, right? Like you can't, I don't know. I feel like I'm leaning over. Okay, so, couple of things. Obviously, we spend all of our days and nights on the budget, so that's consuming most of our time. But to that end, I want to let you know, we sent out a boot letter to, all, delinquent, motor vehicle taxes, which had quite an effect, and, we significantly increased our motor vehicle tax payments. And that, we sent that letter for booting. It wasn't just delinquencies, but it's also cars that are registered not in West Haven. Remember last year we had that program, that company we hired, CTR, and they go around and, right, they did the whole study. We sent letters to those folks saying you gotta register. But now we sent them the boot letter, so we're getting a lot of funding in, which is working, which is great because, why should we pay for those services when they're using our services? We give a grace period, though. Somebody moved here, we give 6 months, right, to get acclimated, gotta do all that paperwork, so that's fine. We had a great, we went out to bid for a broker for the project over at Kimberly Avenue. And then we had respondents, we had great panel discussion, and we sent that off to the state, waiting for their feedback. But as soon as we get the feedback back from the state, then we're gonna be able to unleash that broker, if you will, to start working on that project. It's a lot of red tape. This is funded by the state, so, the way we bid and the way we ask questions, et cetera, they're all good, it's, those rules are there for a reason. So that was underway. Coffee shop planned to open August. I know you asked that in the last meeting. Yep, they're underway. Remember, she was having her third baby, so we gave them a little break. And the Kelsey continues to move along, which is great. Someone asked me before the meeting about, because we were going into the Allentown Fire contract negotiations, what other contracts do we have up? We're currently in police negotiations. It is my goal and it is my hope to have that wrapped up in fiscal year 2026 so that we could fund it in 2026, any retro payments, and then the increase would be effective for 2027. So, just like in negotiations, you're just going back and forth, balls in their court. Hopefully I have some news next meeting. Sound study. So we got some preliminary results back for the sound study. I'm not going to release them because there's more work that has to be done. We got to finalize that study. John Carano, who was taking the lead on that, was working very hard on that. He had a health challenge. He's okay. But so as soon as he is back, he will be meeting with them, but we asked them to continue doing their work. What else? Oh, police union is currently is in negotiations, but 681 is up for contract. 681 is Public Works and the clerical workers. They're up for contract July 1, and WPCA is coming up as well. So we have to work on those, and we have to put funding in place for those. Dumpsters, I know we glossed over it a little bit, but I wanted to say that's a pretty big blight deal for us. So this is now requiring any dumpsters not to have stuff around it, right? Don't have a toilet seat next to your dumpster, don't have debris, clean it up. You have to, put something, cover over it. Just because you have a dumpster on site doesn't mean you could be a looking for. Yes, yeah. Yes, a mess. How's that? And also permit fee for the dumpsters. That doesn't apply to residential. The tidiness applies to the residential. The fee doesn't. The dumpster fee is for units of 4 or more. So heavy residential, like an apartment building or commercial. Landlord registration. So remember we talked about that last year when we put the out-of-town landlord registration in place. So up at the Capitol now, they're having a law to require it. So we're tracking that law, but we're actually ahead of the game, and we're actually bringing funding in for that. So we started with residential, and then moved to condominiums, and now we're doing businesses. So if you own a piece of property in West Haven, but you live elsewhere, you need to pay a registration fee because we need to track you. And this is going to help cut down on absentee landlords because you're going to have to be part of this registration. And if you're not, we're going to fine you and then fine you again. It's not just for blight purposes, it's for safety purposes too. God forbid a house goes on fire. We don't, we need to, you can't hide behind an LLC. So we're working on that. State actually in Planning and Development Committee, besides landlord registration, they have a lot of bills. A lot of them will help with blight, so I'm really looking forward to it. I've given my feedback on it as a city who has experienced blight. We're also doing, a lot of fun things. Oh, I want to acknowledge the basketball team, both basketball teams. I don't think we met since then, did we? But 2 championships in one day is incredible. 2 state championships. The boys basketball, to watch them is incredible. And I will say I went to the pep rallies for our unified sports team, and I can't tell you how heartwarming it was to see the entire school come out and cheer on our unified team. It was really emotional, and they were amazing, and they won, and then they had a game between the unified sports and the boys basketball team when they came back, when they won the championship. So they do a lot of great work over at that high school, and big shout out to all the coaches that work so hard for both teams. Grind had their opening day. I don't know if you saw that 2 Saturdays ago. It just looks spectacular down there, right? That was exactly what that partnership was supposed to deliver. So you want to take a ride down there. Dog park, yep. Yes, and I know the doggy bags aren't there. They're coming. The doggy bags are coming. We just have to move them from the old park to the new park. Right, yes. Folks have to be just slightly patient, right? We do something and we get a call, where's this, where's that, where's this? We're working on it. It was a lot of work down there, so again, big shout out to John Carano and Ernie Shirelli and Bobby Zuppi from Park Maintenance. And then, the Big Dog Show. So you saw a lot of publicity on that. I think that's going to be pretty big for the city. He's a sculptor, Dale Rogers, and he does these, like whales, or there's different animals. And the dog show is nationally traveling show. And remember, that was funding that was put aside through the arts. The different categories that were allocated through the ARPA funding. So rather than just, and we try to make it a win-win. So for example, we used arts funding for the symphony, right? So that it was cost affordable for folks to go to the symphony, but all that ticket money went right back into our schools to buy instruments for our students. This is, we're spending the funding on an public art display, which will bring people into the city, but all that funding will go back into our animal shelter. So we've already raised $5,000 in sponsorships, and we didn't even open yet. It'll be open for 3 weeks. And Beth Sabo is really working very hard, and just a reminder, she is a volunteer in our city, and she does a lot of work. Speaking of Beth, we're also working on so many things that are coming up. As soon as the nice weather comes, we're already planning Memorial Day parade, and we have our bricks and our Vietnam Memorial dedication coming up in May. And our concerts are booked, our acoustic Sundays are booked, and our Savin Rock Festival is booked. All of our concerts, and then yes, Volunteer Day. It's National Volunteer Day across the country. So our UNH students are helping to organize that. So we really encourage folks to come out and participate. If you want to take the lead in your district, or if you're at large, you want to take a lead in any district, we strongly welcome that. So it's going to be everybody meets on the green. We're going to give the resources. There's different groups doing this on Earth Day, which is April 22nd. We're providing the resources. We have like 60 students from the high school that are working on this. And then we're going to meet at the green. We're going to have lunch. We're going to party. Okay, and that is all I have. Do you have any questions?
You've been busy.
Yes, dear.
Councilman Beaton.
On the dumpsters, is there, if a residential, what? What's the matter?
Go ahead.
Oh, he said Councilwoman Callahan.
Okay.
Good.
Okay?
Good.
As far as the dumpsters go, is there a timeline if residents, because I have someone in our area, the dumpster's been there a year. Is there a timeline on dumpsters in the driveways, or not really anything specific?
That's a good question. Did we put, Paul, there was no, I think we discussed it. Good question. What did we do with timelines?
I think I heard your question. Is there a time frame during which they have to complete the work and remove the dumpster?
How long the dump, yeah, I guess, but how long is that the dumpster could be there? Like, these guys, it's been there a year, so I don't know if that's,
Right, so that'll probably be on the permit, the application for the permit and the granting of the permit. Different jobs, different sizes will require different times. Probably technically not the exact same dumpster. Usually it gets filled and taken away and then a new one gets dropped off. But the idea is that as long as the work is continuing and it's within the scope of the permit, it's acceptable.
do they have to have a permit to have a dumpster?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, okay, good to know. Okay,
And then if you're outside of, as the mayor said, if you're using the side of the dumpster to lean things up against, or you're just throwing things around towards the dumpster,
Yeah.
then that becomes a finable blight issue.
that would be a blight.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Councilman Beaton.
Mayor, just want to thank you, Mayor. Last time I addressed the council regarding the beach sand, it's now completed. So on behalf of the 9th District, thank you very much. Sea Bluff to South Street is completed, so thank you.
Thank you. I think I mentioned that April 1st was our deadline, but because of the blizzards, we were behind, so we had a very, very tight window. And so we contracted that out because we don't have the equipment and the resources to get that done. We had to move that sand in like 3 days. So we did. We moved it from Sea Bluff, where it was building up. Last year, we moved it to Beach, and then to Lake Street and Seaview Avenue, which is important.
Anything else? Mayor, thank you for that wonderful update. A lot of heavy lifting, a lot of work is being done, but a lot of fun stuff too. So we're looking forward to the nice warmer weather.
Fun never ends here.
Fun never ends.
Fun.
Okay, I want to send our well wishes to Commissioner Steve Mullins. I hope that everything's okay with him. With that, motion to adjourn. Second. 9:27. Good night, everybody.